Hello, my name is Dan Berry, and I've been asked to share by Tim about the legal issues and especially the paperwork for the local church pastor. In my wallet is very important papers. Many of those papers and those cards I rarely use, but those cards are very vital, especially this card here. This card, in the event that I see a little blue light that pulls me over on the side of the road, and the officer comes up and taps on my window, he asked me two questions. Could you please provide for me your proof of insurance and your driver's license? Now this little card really matters at that particular time. And maybe in the meantime, I will rarely use it. Same way from legal matters. When it comes down to the legal issues of the local church, there are many things that you can do, many things that you don't have to worry about, except when it really comes down to being pressed. And when you have not taken care of the legal paperwork, then you're in deep trouble. And so let me share with you a few things that I put in a packet for you to help you as a pastor, whether you're in a developing church or whether you're in an established church, to help you with the legal paperwork that needs to be dealt with. These are the things that maybe you don't really have time, you've not been trained for, but it's very vital. First of all, if you're a developing church, a couple of things I put in this packet. First of all, you need to be approved by your ENCG and your DBA. Your project needs to be approved. A developing church, whether it's a church plant or a reclassified church or a church that's been in decline, for whatever reason, if you're in developing status, you need to be approved by the ENCG and especially your DBA. You also need to have a treasurer, bookkeeper. No pastor or pastoral spouse should be handling money. So therefore, it may be in the hands of the district, your finances, and you may receive checks and reimbursements, or you may have some layperson who's qualified to handle that. So that should never be in the hands of a pastor. Number three, salary and documentation. All of your salary should be approved by your DBA because the DBA is your board as a developing church. Your ministerial status should actually be approved. You should be a ministerial licensed minister, you should be a ministerial student, or maybe you're a minister in the process of transfer, but you should have ministerial status and that should be approved appropriately. Also, in a church plant or in a developing church, sometimes the basic insurance issues are never covered. You should have liability insurance for the place that you're meeting at to make sure that there's no probability with someone suing you, or even for ministry services rendered that someone may later come back to you. Also, there's a little known thing that sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't happen. In Discipline 518 it says that a developing church, especially a church plant, but all developing churches, should have a mission or ministry plan. And that plan would include your plans for the coming year, for salvation, for baptisms, for evangelism, for outreach, for organization, and so forth. So that plan should be filed with your district board of administration at least on an annual basis. And then there's corporation formations. If you're a church, it's highly recommended that you're incorporated, and you may be incorporated through the Wesleyan Church under their banner. But if somewhere in the future, you need to think about incorporation as a protection for your local church. Also, your federal ID or your federal ID employment number, the EIN number is very vital, and if you have filed correctly, if you go online, we've got the data there for you to go online and to file for your EIN number. Then your federal tax exempt status, and you're fortunate being a part of the Wesleyan Church, you're under the umbrella of groups. And if you're filed with the Wesleyan Church, if you're approved with all the other things we've just listed, then you would automatically come under the umbrella of the Wesleyan Church with tax exempt status. Also, financial management. If there's anything that really causes pastors to get in trouble, it's the management of finances. And so you should make sure you have tellers, people that actually take the money, receive the money, people that count the money, and then someone who's the treasurer. And the person who's writing the check should never handle the money. So there should be accountability factors in that. We've given you a whole list of resources in this packet so that you have all sorts of options there. It's also recommended that you find some church that might have a CFO, a Chief Financial Officer, that could help you, assist you, answer questions, develop some relationships with church administrators so you understand some of the questions in developing the financial and the legal aspect of your local church. We also recommend that even in a local church that's in development status, that you have a background check. And we've offered you a list of options for children, youth workers, for drivers, for financial workers, for waivers, for release forms. All of those things we provided for you to help you. Also screening services. We provide screening services or background, both financial background checks and criminal background checks. And you can do that for as cheap as $10. So every church can do that. And that covers you because these are key issues for a local church, even in developing status. And then for an established status church, we provided for you a list of just checks for insurance. You need to check to make sure you adequately have the right insurance. Financial audits, it's recommended that below $1 million that you have internal audits, that you do that. But if you're above $1 million as a local church, you should seriously consider going outside each year for your audit. Then also church safety and security. This is becoming a big thing, and it's important that you have those procedures in place. Real estate transactions, how about intellectual property, employment laws? All of these issues are in your packet. I hope as you go through this that it does not overwhelm you, but it reminds you the importance of taking care of the small things. Because one day you may have someone proverbially that knocks on your window, and it might be very important to be able to pull out the right documentation, having dotted your I's, having crossed your T's. God bless you. Have a great day.